All right, we're here with the head coach of the Mineola Yellowjackets, Coach Luke Blackwell. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Kyle. How are you?
I cannot complain. I cannot complain. Before we get into the football stuff, I want to get personal with you a little bit. Talk about Jace. I know obviously you were away from the football field these past couple of years with Jace. So talk to me a little bit about how Jace is doing these days.
Yeah, so he's kind of been his I guess you call it his post-treatment phase. So he finished up his treatment last September. And so now we have monthly checkups where they just kind of check everything and see what everything looks like. And June marked month number 9 of good appointments, cancer-free after 9 months. And I think we got an appointment here in 2 weeks. So we're getting close. He's doing really well. The doctors kind of tell us that really the first 12 months, first year off of treatment is a pivotal time. So, but he's doing good. He got to go back to school full time after spring break, and he really enjoyed that. And in fact, he's doing okay this summer, but I think he's really wanting to go back to school. I think he's missing doing that. So,
Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that he's doing well. But now
yeah.
let's talk a little football now. Now Coach Aaron Slider had taken over the head coaching duties these past couple of years, and the Yellow Jackets made it to the playoffs last year, winning 2 games in district to make it to the by-district round. I know you weren't obviously on the sidelines coaching, but you were still at every game, still athletic director, still there in being involved in the program. What did you see from the team last year that you liked? I know it was just 2 wins, but they made it to the playoffs. So what did you see out of
Yeah.
the team last year that you liked?
Well, I think, as a whole, when you look at that group, there's a lot of young guys playing, a lot of young guys playing and early on and really on throughout the season, trying to identify, who's going to play at some key positions. We kind of went round around on the quarterback position, really until later in the season and trying to identify some of those guys, trying to get some experience with the young guys. So obviously there were some struggles there. But the thing that I really noticed and liked was really, toward the end of the season, we kind of got down to the time where we had to win ball games to stay alive and give ourselves an opportunity to make a playoff run. And really from the Malakoff game on, I thought the kids really responded well, played hard, competitive, and I thought they showed a lot of grit and toughness there toward the end of the season. And going into that Jefferson game, and I don't remember what the prediction was. Maybe people thought we were going to get beat by 50 points or something. I think it was a tied or a one-score game going into the fourth quarter, and I think it says a lot about the mentality of our kids and the growth that they made throughout that season. And I was really impressed by the way we finished the year.
Yeah, going into that playoff game, you're looking at Jefferson, that's a district champion and kind of been rolling over everybody. And Mineola, quote unquote, snuck into the playoffs. You know what I mean? And yeah, that game was close at halftime. Even going into the fourth quarter was a tight
Yeah,
game. And I'm glad you brought that up because a player that really impressed me in that game was the quarterback, Kipton Neighbors. He, as
yeah,
a freshman, was phenomenal in that game alone. That's the only time I got to see him, but he really impressed me in that game. So you obviously have him coming back to lead the offense along with 7 starters on offense and 7 on defense, along with Jaramonte at the running back position. Just talk a little bit about the guys you have coming back and your expectations for this season.
yeah. We did see a lot out of those guys, and a lot out of the two that you mentioned. Kipton and Jeremiah, both young guys and inexperienced at the positions that they were playing. And I think that you saw throughout the year, both of those guys continued to get better. And at the end of the year, they really had built a lot of confidence in what they were doing. They were getting comfortable in their roles. And I think you could see that. And I think the hope for us now is that we can build off of that experience and that confidence, transition that into a leadership role, even for those young guys, and give us something to grow on as we start this next season.
Now, I didn't get to talk to you last year before realignment, but the district that you're in now is a doozy. You got obviously Malakoff in there that won state a couple of years ago, then got dropped into the district and made it to state last year. Winsboro obviously has had some good seasons these past few years, and it's a big rival of Mineola. So, and Commerce on the up and up in that district as well. So, just as the district as a whole, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. It is a tough district, and it seems like it is every alignment, whether we're stay where we're at or we go east. I mean, there's a lot of good programs here in East Texas, and certainly in our district right now. And yeah, there's no games in our district that you circle and say, well, we're going to win this game for sure. You know, every game's going to be a battle. The teams in our district are all well coached, good athletes, a lot of history in some of those programs, and so we know week in and week out when we get to district, it's going to be a battle, and we got to be ready to go.
So these past 2 years, you haven't been the head coach, but what have you learned from have you got a different view of things now, being kind of able to watch from the sidelines, but not involved in the coaching? Have you learned anything these past couple of years that you can take going into this season?
Yeah, and I don't know that I can point to anything specific, Kyle, but I can tell you that, you know, that vantage point is different. And I think you'd see some big picture things maybe a little more clearly. I think you notice some things that sometimes you might avoid you in the heat of the moment. So yeah, I do think my perspective on certain things have changed or evolved a little bit, and in some ways that I think can help us going forward.
Excellent. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time and talking to us this morning. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Best of luck to the Yellow Jackets this season, and hopefully we'll talk to you down the road.
You bet, Kyle. Thank you.